Okay, so let's take a look here at what are LLMs good at in terms of enterprise security. I think the anchor point here is that LLMs have quickly established themselves as the foundation of application development, and that position in application development is logically transferring over into that position around application security. AppSec and AppDev look very similar. They're both very code-centric. The LMs have been trained on extensive code bases. They understand language. They have semantic understanding. If you're working on AppSec, you can immediately get an immediate feedback loop from what you do for AppSec in the AppDev process and AppDev environment. Link those two together. So there's a lot of very clean synergies between AppSec and AppDev, which again is where we're seeing kind of the strongest use cases right now for the use of LLMs in security. Now, could maybe talk a little more about why are LLMs good at AppSec and kind of what's happening here?
Yeah, so there's a few different structural reasons why LLMs are having this moment in application security, right? So we are seeing very exponential progress on the AI coding side. So it's an extension of that use case, right? Being able to interpret millions of lines of code without getting tired, enhance judgment across files, dependencies. So something that a reviewer might miss if they're only looking at one or two files at a time, being embedded in CI/CD pipeline, so every commit gets reviewed. So that's more kind of on the operational side of things. And then also having a semantic understanding, right, versus compared to classical SAST and DAST solutions, which are operating on more patterns. So AI is able to understand intent, correlate with other sources of data as well, right? And this isn't purely like, no, this has happened to be an accident. It suddenly got good at this, right? When you look at AI frontier, there is actually a training data supply chain that kind of informs what things it get good at, right? So earlier in this year, right, I've been monitoring some of these AI-based hiring platforms, one of them being Mercer. They had, I think this was around Jan or Feb time frame, they had like nearly 13, 14 open job listings for AI red teamer, adversarial AI testing, right? It was a curiosity at that time for me. I didn't kind of connect the dots. Sometimes you only connect the dot looking backward. So I was like, why is there so much focus on that? And then as obviously, with the announcement on with this project Glasswing and the Mythos model, all the capabilities that we are seeing being announced or being talked about. So it's getting clear that all of that was just kind of training data being built up, right? And then it's easier to do in for AppSec use cases because they tend to be more objectively easy to verify and build for. So that's what's going on here.
Cool. So I mean, I think Annika, one of the use cases in AppSec is you've talked a lot about is this whole thing about vulnerability management. How's that? How is that going? How does that use these capabilities?
Yeah, absolutely. So being able to discover these vulnerabilities at scale is one thing, right? But that also kind of now necessitates the need to being able to find and explain and suggest fixes, right? So LLMs, already are good at coding. So this integrated loop of discovering, evaluating what's relevant, what's exploitable, being able to suggest remediations, right? And then LLM-based remediation can directly integrate into these dev workflows, use CI/CD pipelines. So that's where the potential lies. Right. So LLMs are kind of built for basically revamping this entire life cycle of vulnerability management, all the way from discovery to remediation. And it's going to get extremely streamlined and entirely revamped in this new world.
Well,
As we know,
sorry.
AppSec is not exactly SecOps, right? That's where we come in, and I think that segues nicely into our next discussion item.